Hey everyone, thanks for joining me at Mummy's Metal. I'm the mommy, this is my metal. This is take two of this episode actually, because yesterday was a chaotic day. People were cranky, babies were crying, siblings were fighting. Nothing got done, as you can see. So we're going to try this again and hopefully get it right this time. As you can tell, I made it to my first metal show. I had an amazing time. I got to meet the members of Garage, watch them play first. They were incredible. Live music is always so much better than listening to music at home, but with metal music, it's even more powerful when you feel that sound coming through the floor and through your body. There's nothing else like it. Garage gave my husband a great show because he was noticing things like their technical virtuosity and their masterful fret tapping, the wailing dual guitar parts, things that I wouldn't be able to pick out myself, but he couldn't stop talking about it afterwards, so I'm assuming those are really good things. For me, it just sounded awesome. I was a little starstruck simply because I've been watching these guys in their videos for the last month and a half or so. And for someone in my generation, anybody who has a modicum of celebrity attached to their name, at least in my day, the only way to really get in touch with them was to write to their fan clubs or care of their management companies. If you ever got a photographed signed photo back, you were doing really well. I never got anything back. I think I wrote 2 letters in my life. I didn't get anything back. But that was the only way we had to connect with celebrities. Nowadays, because of social media, you can actually talk to the people who you idolize, to the people that you listen to every day, the people that you watch videos for every day. There wasn't that. So I'm still a little starstruck when I see somebody in person that I've been watching online. I was shy. My husband was not, thank goodness. He took the reins. He introduced us to the band. We had made arrangements beforehand to get pictures taken. They were extremely gracious about that, even though we had some slight technical difficulties with our camera and had to take about 6 shots, I think, and 2 of them were actually usable. Probably up behind me right now. The guys were so nice, so nice, and worked their butts off. They're there at the very beginning of the show, which is about 2.5 hours before they even go on stage, manning their merchandise tables. Then once it's time for them to play, they have to run up, organize their equipment, do their sound check really fast, play their set with as much energy as they did and with as much passion. Few technical glitches on their end as well, but they were easily remedied, and the band is so interactive with the crowd that nobody really cared. While they were making repairs, we were still being entertained. But then once these guys are done their set, they do the breakdown and it's right back to the merchandise tables because this is their bread and butter. So as you can tell, I'm trying to support. It's the first show that I've gone to, so this will be the first of many. I really do want to start financially supporting a lot of these bands more than I am right now. The more that I'm falling in love with certain bands that I know I'm going to listen to forever, the more I want physical hard copies of their albums and I want their t-shirt. So please, when you go to these shows, support the bands. This is the only way they can continue doing what they love to do and what we love to hear them do. The second band that went on was Beyond Creation. These guys. And these guys. We didn't have anything set up with them, so I didn't actually get to meet the guys from the band, although they were working just as hard on their merchandise table. But like I said, I was being all shy and stuff, so I didn't actually get to meet them. But the show they put on was incredible. If you listen to their albums at home and you go to their shows, it is going to sound different simply because on the albums they have so many different layers of music going on that just makes it fuller sounding. That really is not possible to replicate live. For what they can do, though, they blew it out of the water. They were amazing. I certainly didn't notice a lack of sounds. I didn't notice a lack of fullness. I think probably because I was so familiar with their songs by that point, my brain just automatically filled in the blanks. So to me, I was hearing it, but I was hearing it much more intensely, much louder, because typically I have to listen to it sort of over the washing machine. Some of the songs I do listen to occasionally have words I really don't want my 3-year-old running around the house saying, so the washing machine is a really good cover for that. So if you do have little ones and you have to watch your language, go in the bathroom, do a load of laundry, scream your guts out during a song. You will come out feeling so much better. I got to see my first mosh pit. Well, my first mosh pit since I was 15. When I was 15, I was in the middle of the mosh pits. This time I was at the edge. I really wanted to sort of join in, but I'm still hesitant. I thought I would feel uncomfortable going to the show simply because I am a lot older than the typical fan base. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm still a newbie. I still really don't know much about this genre other than what I like. I can't quantify why I like it. I can describe how it makes me feel. I can describe how I relate to the story, but I can't give you musical terms to describe why I like something. So jumping into a conversation with people who may be musicians or may even just understand why they like what they like better than I do is very intimidating for me. So I was a little bit nervous about going to the show simply because I thought I might get a few looks, even though I was boasting a few episodes ago that, you know, this is a very non-judgmental genre and all that stuff. I still had my doubts because I do have life experience. I got to the show, greeted with smiles by everybody who was around the door, went in, kind of milled around a little bit, still felt uncomfortable. And it took me about halfway through the night to realize that this feeling of judgment that was hanging over my head was coming from me. Because as I looked around the room, nobody was looking at me. Nobody was seeing whether or not I'm banging my head in rhythm, or nobody's looking to see if I'm dancing like some freak on some kind of weird new drug. Nobody cared because all they wanted to do was enjoy the music. I saw people banging their heads at different rhythms, and I thought, okay, so we're allowed to pick our own rhythm. This is awesome. I don't always have to look for that specific beat that everyone else is kind of moving around to. Once I realized that nobody really gave a crap about me, which just sounds harsh, but it wasn't. It was more of a, you're here, you must enjoy this music, you're one of us. That's the end of it. In between bands, of course, a lot of the crowd, myself included, would go outside to have our cigarettes and just mill around, get fresh air, talk. And I kind of stood off by myself, but I was listening to the conversations that were going around me. And one conversation made me giggle, and when the people from that group kind of looked over at me and I was like, sorry, couldn't help it, and explained why it made me giggle, they just automatically opened up the circle to include me in it. I didn't ask to be included. It wasn't like, oh, you're not one of the cool kids, you can't hang with us. It was just like, oh, hey, you want to interact with us? That's awesome. I got to talk with them. I mentioned a few tours that I was questioning whether or not they were as metal as they could be. I'm not going to mention any names, but if you are into the heavier metal, you certainly know what tours I'm talking about. And I also got to inform them that a few of the bands that I really, really love like Ghost Iris and Ocean's 8 Alaska, they are going on particular tours. Veil of Maya too, I believe. Didn't even know that Slipknot and Manson were coming to Canada, so maybe I'll see them up there. Who knows? It was just really nice to feel included, and it was the cherry on top of an excellent evening. I couldn't have planned it better. This week I don't have any new bands to recommend. It's been an incredibly busy week and a half. My daughter turned 10. My husband had a birthday. Then we had Easter. Then we had the show on the same night. So I had 5 really sugar-high kids to come home, get settled before I could go to the show. Then it was back to school, and for some reason, there's just an air of crankiness around the house this week. So I haven't been able to explore as many bands as I've wanted to. I have been listening to a couple. I haven't determined whether or not I like them yet, so I don't want to mention who they are. Because it's been so chaotic, though, this week, I will say, Bring Me the Horizon, you have saved my sanity immensely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Songs from their newest album, That's the Spirit. Songs like Avalanche, when you feel completely overwhelmed, you know, laundry's piling up, dishes are piling up, people are yelling, people are screaming, chaos everywhere. Avalanche is the song to go to. Songs like the Happy Song. That one has been on repeat in my head for the last 4 days. Go listen to the song and you will find out why. It's one of those songs that describe basically pasting a smile on your face, pretending everything's okay, ignoring any other emotion that may be going through you, whether it's anger, sadness, fear, it doesn't matter. Gotta paste that smile on. Happy Song is the song that you really want to sing when you're in one of those moods, because it's cathartic to actually say these feelings and words out loud without attaching them to yourself. So you can be singing about depression, you can be singing about fear, you can sing about anger, you can sing about happiness, and it's okay because you're saying what's really going through your head, but it's in a song. The song Throne is great when you have that perfect person nagging at you about how you will never be as perfect as them, and all they're interested in doing in the name of love is tearing you down to make themselves feel better. Throne is the perfect "you're not going to break me" song. It just stay strong and be happy, be successful at what you want to do. The heck with them. That's always the best revenge, by the way. The song Drown is the song that I listen to when I'm feeling the most alone. The most like I am drowning. I am drowning in life and responsibility and parenthood and being a wife and being a daughter and being a sister. You know, all of these responsibilities every once in a while can crash on you at once and you feel like you're drowning. And that song captures that feeling perfectly. Every time I sing it, I think, okay, someone else in the universe gets it. Millions of their fans get it. I'm not the only one. This will pass. Songs from other albums like Sempiternal, the Chill Out Sessions, Suicide Season, There Is a Hell, Believe Me, I've Seen It, There Is a Heaven, Let's Keep It a Secret. Every one of these albums have songs that will correspond with whatever emotion you're feeling at the time. Not all emotions are bad emotions, you know. If you're in a great mood and you just want to sing at the top of your lungs, go sing Follow You from That's the Spirit. Sorry, I missed it on the previous album list. Singing that song at the top of your lungs when you're in a good mood is going to make you 10 times happier, I swear. Sometimes I really think that music is better therapy for people than actual therapy. Therapy itself is important. I am not diminishing therapy in any way, shape, or form. Therapy is crucial to a lot of people. I get that more than you would think. But music can also be an additional therapy to that. And getting to express your emotions through song is like releasing a pressure valve. And if it's happiness, you are going to infect the house with happiness. If it's anger, You're going to allow that anger to dissipate into the song because you're going to sing it as growly as you can. You're going to go do that load of laundry. You're going to put on the washing machine, and you are going to pick a growly, cursy song, and you are going to scream every curse as loud as you're able to. Because even though we tell our kids not to curse, as adults, sometimes you need to get at least a word that works for you, and you just need to get it out there. For most adults, we're lazy, and it's usually a curse word. For my daughter, it's flying fudge covered frogs. That works for her. She's so much smarter than I am. I'm lazy. Once in a while, I do rely on the curse. The song Pray for Plagues, as unlikely as it is, or it would seem from the album Count Your Blessings, is actually a song I listen to when my friend is too busy with life, work, relationships, normal, everyday, acceptable things. But when he's so busy that we haven't talked in a few days, I'll listen to Pray for Plagues. It's the first song I really, really remember from the beginning of our own chill-out sessions when he would play music. It was one of those growly songs in the background that I was half listening to and waiting for Stone Sour or Disturbed. But once I actually was able to hear the music behind the noise, people ask me, if a lot of noise and sound can overwhelm you at times, how can you listen to music that to a lot of people just seems like noise? And what I've come to the conclusion is it is mostly noise for most people, because most people don't take the time to actually listen to it. You can't just have it in the background and expect to get it. You actually have to devote some quiet time to sit down, listen to these songs, and hear the music underneath the noise. Once you hear the music, at least for me, it's incredibly calming and it's very centering. Simply because for me, it's not chaos anymore. It's comforting. And when I am overwhelmed by a lot of noise that's going on around me, I can put my headphones on, I can listen to a couple of songs, get myself centered, go back out and do what I have to do. Bring Me the Horizon really has helped save my sanity this week, because take yesterday, for example. Yesterday was an avalanche day. It was also a 15 Fathoms day, though. 15 Fathoms is an instrumental of theirs from Count Your Blessings, and it is like a balm to my soul. I can put that on, and no matter what emotion is going on inside my head, that song will instantly cover me, almost like a security blanket. If you haven't heard it yet, please go and check it out and decide for yourself. Listening to that song yesterday helped keep me on an even keel, because I would be frustrated. That song, Thank You, came up in my shuffle. Instant calm. Music does heal. That's all I have for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments in the box below. Click the like button. Share with your friends. Don't forget subscribe. I know a lot of people don't have YouTube accounts that are trying to support me in this. Call me. Have a great week. Thanks for visiting.